everybody. How is everybody doing? I know, I've been MIA. I am so sorry. I missed like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna try to make that a habit. I've just been super busy at home dealing with the remodel and all that kind of stuff, but that's not why you're here. Let me tell you what we're gonna talk about today. So today I decided we're going to go in order of my teachers. Miss W is definitely going to be at the butt end of this because she has, with hands down, the most stories about her. But today we're going to talk about my absolute favorite teacher of all times. We're going to call her Miss Betty. That's not her real name, but it's very close. And we're also going to talk about the time that poor Miss Betty got in trouble for giving us our correct grades instead of passing all of us with flying colors. So, gosh, yeah, let's get into this one. Miss Betty was the first, the newbies teacher, so she was stuck in the classroom pretty much the entire year, teaching all the new students and giving them tests and going through the book stuff and all that. She basically had the boring job. She was the first teacher that we all met, and for obvious reasons, she was the sweetest human being alive. She still is. I'm pretty sure she still teaches. And yeah, so she was the first person we met, so that's what made us stay because we were stuck with her for a couple months. We didn't really leave her until we were ready to be on the floor. And then we got to meet Miss W, which was not fun. Now, as I said, Miss Betty was in charge of all the first... I keep saying first year. We were not there for first year. If I say first year, please excuse me. The newbies. She was there for the newbies book work. So she did all the tests, all the studying, all of that. She had this great big cosmetology book, and she was instructed to read a chapter every single week. And once we were done reading that chapter... Oh, excuse me. Once we were done with that chapter, we would take a quiz at the end of the week, pretty much like normal. I think that's normal. Now, me personally, I'm a visual person, so I'm not going to ace a quiz just by reading it in a book or listening to it. I have to actually physically see it. And Miss Betty, absolutely, I wish she could have done that. If she had been allowed to, she definitely would have done more demos, but they really did keep her stuck in that classroom, which stunk. I know she didn't want to be in there because she was really a hands-on person too, because that's the best way, in my opinion, to learn how to do hair and other, things like that. It's artwork. You have to see it. You just can't read about it. But anyway, that was her job. They kept her in her classroom, and she was pretty much stuck there with the newbies. So fine. Now, we had not taken that many quizzes. I don't even think it was our third weekend, so it had to be either our first test or our second test. I don't know which one it was, but it was one of those. And obviously, we weren't all going to get 100 on our tests. At least not every time. Maybe some of us did, but I didn't. Okay, I think I got a low 80, maybe even a 70, which was fine. But, it wasn't the greatest. So we turned our tests in. She graded them. She told us our grades or whatever. And then she would take our books, because they were the tests were in these little books. Well, usually they were. Sometimes they were like on paper she would pass out, but for the most part they were in this little book, this little test book she gave us, and we would give them to her. She would write down our grades in another piece of paper in her little booklet she had, and she would give our books back, and that was that. Now, like I had said, it is dumb. It is dumb to think that we are all going to get 100, even if we really know the curriculum or whatever it was, if it was a curling iron, whatever it was for that week, even if you really knew it, it's always possible to make a mistake. We are but human, and that's normal. But I guess not, because I think a couple days after we took our last quiz, Mr. L, who is in charge of the entire school, Mr. L comes storming in with his 6-foot self, mad. He just looks upset. You could like smell the anger on him. And he puts on this fake southern smile and looks straight at poor Miss Betty. And Miss Betty is just looking at him like, oh, what did I do now? Because she was always getting in trouble for something, whether it was helping an older student with a haircut or voicing her opinion too loud about something that was wrong, like the price on something, whatever it was. She was always getting in trouble, the poor thing. Mr. L goes on to ask Miss Letty about why the tests were so low. I don't know. Maybe we didn't do that good on this test. I think we all passed, but I don't know. This was so long ago, but we didn't fail, let's be honest. And if we were gonna fail, it's not like we would ever know. So she looks up at him and basically says, I don't know. I read the book like y'all have told me to. I put on the YouTube video like you told me to. They study in here with me like they're supposed to. I don't know, because she's not a mind reader. She didn't know. And what this man said next was absolutely the icing on top of the cake. He turns and says to her, why don't you give them the answers so they always get a perfect score? What? I almost didn't. If I hadn't been there to hear this man say that, I would not have believed it, because it makes no sense to, one, say that in front of us, and two, to say that while we are studying so hard to pass these quizzes. Why would you say that? What's the point of even studying if you're just going to give us hundreds every time we take a test? I guess the rest of the class was thinking the same thing too, because I distinctly remember someone saying, well, what's the point then? And then he got real heated about that. But it's true. He got heated and was like, well, you should want to study anyway. Blase, blase, blase. This test shouldn't mean you don't study or you do study. It's about integrity. This man was always talking about integrity. After he was done having his little speech again about integrity and how you should want to study to do better anyway, which being out here now, yeah, I have feelings about that, but I don't have enough time in this video to talk about my feelings about that. Anyway, after he was done with his little speech about integrity, he turns to Miss Betty and says, once they're done with their quiz, give them the right answers and then have them turn it in. Miss Betty was really not about conflict either, of any kind. She didn't want to fight with nobody, which I can respect, because she would always lose. Especially because she got on the bad side of Miss W at one point, and she started getting bullied by Miss W. It was a whole mess. So Miss Betty really did keep to herself, and she was quiet, and she just said, okay, okay, whatever you want. Now I think of it, W probably didn't like Betty, because Betty Everybody loved Miss Betty. Miss Betty was just the sweetest thing on earth. She wasn't condescending. She wasn't rude. She was basically the exact opposite of W. And now I kind of understand why W was so mean to Betty, because misery loves company, and poor Miss Betty was just a breath of fresh air, and W was not. So that's probably why she didn't like her. Anyway, back to the story. So after that whole issue, she did what she was told, even though she didn't want to, for obvious reasons. She did what she was told, and everybody got hundreds pretty much until, the 8th month or 7th month I was there, because then we switched to computers, which were much more honest than Mr. L was. So we could not go back and give ourselves all hundreds. That was not an option anymore. You could retake it for a 75, and pretty much he forced you to do that. You had to do that. He just did not want you to fail. But yeah, it was really a mess up in there. But anyway, that's Miss Betty. I love Miss Betty. I think she's still teaching, like I said. And if she is, and she's your teacher, you are the luckiest Cosmo student in the world. Appreciate her, because I'll let y'all in on a little secret. She got ran out for bullying, and I just felt so horrible for her. Nobody should have to deal with that, especially at your workplace. But yeah, guys, that's the end of this story. I really don't have many stories about Miss Betty, because she really did get quiet after the bullying started. She didn't want any heat. She didn't want any trouble. And I can understand that, because who would want that at their workplace? But yes, I hope y'all all have an amazing day, a night, or whatever it is for you. I love to see y'all comment. If you like this story, comment a heart or your favorite emoji or whatever. Ooh, maybe another nail idea. I would love a nail idea, because I'm always looking for new nail designs to do. I would love to see what y'all would want to see. But yeah, let me get out of here. I will talk to y'all in the next one. I think I'm going to try to post another one this week, because I do feel bad for not posting for like 2 weeks. So I'm going to try to post another one, but I'm not going to promise it. I have to think of what story next. Ooh. But yeah, let me let y'all go, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.